Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Carson Daly recently revealed the trouble Blake Shelton caused on The Voice. The show recently revealed the 4 coaches who will be in the red chairs next season. Fans were hoping that Blake Shelton was going to return. However, that may never be the case. The host, Carson, wanted fans to know what challenges they had to face due to Blake. Keep reading to find out more. The Voice has revealed who is going to be the 4 coaches in the next season of the show. There are 2 new coaches and 2 familiar faces that will be returning. Michael Bublé and Snoop Dogg are going to try their hand at coaching next season. Fans are curious to see how this is going to play out. Reba McEntire will be returning to the show. Some fans are not happy about that. However, there is another coach who will be returning that fans did not like. Gwen Stefani is going to be back on the show. Although fans did not like that she was returning, they hoped this meant Blake would return in the future due to them being married. Blake did not cause trouble in a bad way necessarily. He just made it challenging to find someone as good as him. It seems Blake was a popular judge, and they did not know how they were going to replace him. However, they could not expect him to stay on the show forever. With Gwen coming back to the show, it is possible Blake may return in the future. If not as a coach, maybe he will return as a mentor for his wife's team. What do you think about it all? Sound off in the comments below. Carson Daly recently shared a behind-the-scenes story about his friend and former The Voice coach, Blake Shelton, highlighting some of the fun-loving chaos Shelton brought to the popular singing competition. Blake, who left The Voice after 23 seasons, had a unique way of shaking things up on set with his mischievous humor and occasional offbeat antics. Carson's revelation of the trouble Blake caused gives fans a glimpse of the legendary country star's personality behind the scenes and how it made The Voice a truly unforgettable experience. Blake Shelton was a staple on The Voice from the show's first season in 2011 until his departure in 2023. Known for his charming personality, sharp wit, and genuine love for mentoring new talent, Blake quickly became one of the show's most popular coaches. Throughout his time on The Voice, Blake's signature humor and playful attitude set him apart, earning him a massive fan following and helping to shape the show's unique, relaxed atmosphere. But, as Carson Daly recently revealed, Blake's lighthearted approach often meant he wasn't afraid to bend a few rules or play pranks on his fellow coaches, contestants, and even Carson himself. It was this spontaneity that made him such a lovable presence, but it could also lead to moments that sent producers scrambling. Carson shared one of these stories, explaining how Blake would go out of his way to stir up mischief just for the fun of it. One incident he recounted involved Blake sneaking into Carson's dressing room to plant a few surprises. Carson didn't go into detail about what exactly Blake left, but his laughter hinted at the kind of harmless yet hilarious antics Blake was known for. Carson said he'd often arrive at his dressing room to find random items or funny notes from Blake, who loved to keep everyone on their toes. These pranks weren't just meant for laughs, they were Blake's way of loosening up the tension on set. With the stress of live performances, high stakes, and intense emotions from contestants, Blake's jokes provided much-needed comic relief and reminded everyone to have a little fun. Carson also shared that Blake's unpredictable nature didn't always make things easy for the producers, who were often trying to keep the show on schedule. Blake would sometimes get carried away during filming, offering his thoughts in long-winded comical speeches that didn't always align with the script. While producers may have been frustrated by these unscripted moments, they often became some of the most memorable parts of each episode, showing off Blake's humor and genuine personality. Blake didn't limit his pranks to Carson, though his fellow coaches often found themselves on the receiving end of his mischief. For example, Adam Levine, a longtime friend and frequent target of Blake's teasing, was often drawn into hilarious spats with Blake on the show. Their playful banter became a hallmark of The Voice, and viewers loved watching their friendly rivalry unfold. Blake once swapped Adam's coffee with decaf, knowing how much Adam relied on caffeine to get through long filming days. The prank left Adam frustrated and groggy, much to Blake's delight. These lighthearted pranks highlighted the camaraderie among the coaches, which was a big part of what made the show feel so genuine and relatable. Other coaches weren't immune to Blake's antics either. He once convinced Kelly Clarkson that the show's producers were considering adding a country music-only rule to the competition, a joke that had her in a mild panic before he revealed the truth. Even John Legend found himself the target of Blake's humor when Blake planted several miniature cowboy hats in John's dressing room, each labeled with a note reminding him that country always wins. Carson and Blake developed a unique friendship over the years, and Carson's recent stories reflect just how much he appreciates Blake's infectious energy. The two have often spoken publicly about their strong bond, which goes beyond their time on The Voice. Blake's antics may have been chaotic, but Carson admits that the show wouldn't have been the same without him. Carson recently mentioned that he'll miss the trouble Blake brought to set, describing how those unpredictable moments became part of the magic of The Voice. Despite the occasional disruptions, Carson loved that Blake wasn't afraid to be himself, even if that meant causing a bit of chaos. In a world where reality TV is often carefully orchestrated, Blake's authenticity was a breath of fresh air. Blake Shelton left an undeniable legacy on The Voice, not just for his winning record but for the spirit he brought to the show. His playful nature and willingness to shake things up made him a fan favorite and a mentor that contestants respected and admired. Even as he teased his fellow coaches and broke the occasional rule, Blake never lost sight of his commitment to the contestants. He often went above and beyond to help them grow, offering guidance and encouragement both on and off the stage. The stories Carson shared about Blake's time on The Voice remind fans of why they loved him so much. Blake's influence on the show extended beyond his coaching abilities. He transformed the set into a space where laughter and camaraderie were just as important as the competition itself. For many fans, The Voice won't feel quite the same without Blake's larger-than-life personality. Blake's departure has left a noticeable gap, and fans wonder what The Voice will look like moving forward. Carson acknowledged that while the show will continue to evolve, Blake's influence will always be part of its DNA. New coaches bring fresh perspectives, but Blake's humor and spirit have set a high standard for the kind of personality that makes the show so enjoyable. Carson's stories about Blake's time on set serve as a tribute to the lasting impact he had on everyone involved in The Voice. Even though he may no longer be a coach, Blake's influence will continue to shape the show's atmosphere, especially for those who had the privilege of working with him. As fans hear Carson's stories, they're reminded of the joy and laughter Blake brought to their screens. Social media has been flooded with fans sharing their favorite Blake moments and expressing how much they'll miss his presence on The Voice. From his humorous banter with contestants to his friendly spats with fellow coaches, Blake's impact on the show goes beyond mere entertainment. It's become part of the reason fans tune in season after season. Many fans have also shared their hopes that Blake might make a surprise appearance or two in future seasons, even if just for a special guest appearance. While he may no longer be a regular coach, the door remains open for him to return and bring back his signature energy, if only for a little while.